Thank you. I'm going to start out by reading my two poems from the Bloomsbury Anthology. The first one is called Changing Trains. We are changing trains in the middle of the night, those of us who knew it was time to get off. The country is foreign. The unfamiliar air grows thick with insects that glisten metallically. We are changing trains, our hot bodies pressed so close I can scarcely move. My throat is dry, a desert spreading inside me. Black hills in the distance rimmed with stars spiked like the cells of the brain. We are changing trains, and a strange man hands my suitcase to the conductor, whose face is dark and radiant. I look back once, too late to return. Sand covers the prints of a desert bird. Fingers of light from the coach push back the darkness, pulling me forward toward a mapless country. I climb on board. And the next one is called God of the Jellyfish. The God of the jellyfish must be a luminous, translucent bowl the size of a big top, drifting upside down in an unbounded sea. Surely this God, hung with streamers and oral arms, ruffled and lacy as thousands of wedding gowns and Victorian bodices, created all the jellyfish of earth. Male and female, God created them in God's own image. The cross jellies and the crystal jellies, the sea nettle and the golden lion's mane, the sea wasp and the Portuguese man of war, and gave them nerve nets instead of brains to ensure their humility, put statoliths like tiny pearls in their sensory pits to give them balance, and placed spines on their nematocysts so they could capture food and would sting and burn any living thing that would harm them. And the God of the jellyfish gave them ocelli that shine like the eyes on a butterfly wing when they turn toward the light. And now their God watches over them with God's own great ocellus as they swirl and dive in glistening cathedrals, and does not expect worship or even praise. The iridescence of their umbrellas will suffice. And next I'll read a couple poems from my autobiographical poetry collection, which is called Wild One. And the first one is about converting to Judaism. It's called Converting. Rabbi Kahan thought of God as the grand unified field theory, where all the forces of the universe, the weak force, the strong force, electromagnetism, and gravity, were fused symmetrically at the instant when time began in a fireball that cooled and expanded. It was a God I could at least begin to understand, one who obeyed the laws of science. After 9 months of study, I submerged myself 3 times in the mikvah as prescribed, while Rabbi Kahan said prayers outside the door. Now I light stout white candles and chant sacred syllables in praise of the forces that ignite the stars and hold the atoms of the earth in place. I believe the Jews broke free from a long slavery in Egypt. Gluons carry the strong force. Tamar wore veils to change her destiny. Heavy bosons cause radioactive decay. My veins carry a song known to women who drew water from ancient wells and walked on roads where God might or might not appear in a cloud of dust or sudden rain. And this one is about the birth of my second daughter, Tamarind. It's called Labor. All night the Shabbos candles beat like twin hearts. I awoke every hour, and when they finally went out, I I got up. It was still dark. Now clouds blister the sky, a terrible rash, all white. The sun is no poultice, but the wind soothes and soothes. Soon the pain will be over. I'm going to find a room. It will be all white, except for my blood and one lamp burning like a small sun. I will not notice it. Cool drafts will cover my body. Outside, the sky will clear. By noon, someone will be born. And I'm going to conclude by reading two poems from The Curvature of Blue, which is my newest poetry collection. The first one is called Counting. 1. The moon circling Earth, dragging the oceans like flowing blue gowns. The human heart pumping blood through a network of rivers that end on end would loop the world more than twice. The sperm that wins the race, breaking through to a new world inside the ovum. A point indescribably small, a fixed position flashing in fathomless space. 2. The eyes required for depth perception, showing that the throat of a hummingbird gleams beyond the liquid amber's last gold leaves. Wings that lift a yellow warbler high above the willows, the people it takes to make a new heart begin to beat, the points that determine a line from earth to infinity. 3. The pairs of legs that carry the silver-etched shell of a tortoise beetle, silky fan-shaped petals of a pink star tulip growing close to the loam. Spatial dimensions that unfolded like petals of the evening primrose in the Big Bang, points making a plane to hold the stars of the Milky Way. 4. The chambers of the heart allowing blood to flow in one direction, the legs of a white-tailed deer leaping across a stream. Seeds of the creeping sage whose blue-violet flowers carpet the foothills. The dimensions of space-time. Let there be 4, and stars can beat, life stir and breathe. And the last poem is called Obod in Red. First rays of light falling on pointed red petals and pinnate leaves of the desert trumpet. The glow that reveals blooms of the scarlet bugler, the breast of the scarlet tanager, the cap of a red-headed woodpecker, the calliope hummingbird's throat. Radiance announcing the vine maple's purple-red polygamous flowers growing in clusters, its smooth red-brown bark and paired red seeds. Each morning, let us applaud the brightness that unfolds to show the abundance of all things red. Red bays and red oaks, red coral, red clover, red-shafted flickers, and even red pandas, even red ants. Thank you.